Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Mighty. The Gabe and AnnMarie edition is what I'm going to call it right now. My name is AnnMarie. Clearly, I'm with my pal Gabe, and we're here today to just talk about the holidays and how you're getting through them, depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideations, and how they really do play into the holidays. And especially with everything going on now, people are feeling significantly more lonely and isolated, and we want to let everybody know that we get it. You're not alone, and we're going to get through this holiday season come hell or high water. So that's everything in a nutshell. Gabe, how are you doing today in that butterfly chair of yours?
It's a butterfly sofa,
All
by
right,
the
you
way.
corrected me once already.
I am alone in it, but I am not lonely. So like that's something that I think, we it's important to address. There's a lot of people out there who, may be alone and may actually really thrive being solitary and kind of have a lot going on in their brain and their heart and a lot of communication kind of around them. But there are also those people who are alone and lonely, who are not doing well with that, particularly this year. And I think it's really important to acknowledge that and to show people love when we can. I've noticed a marked influx of people checking on me this week. And sending me
I didn't
messages.
check on you.
What's that?
Sorry. I didn't check on you. Sorry.
Well,
I'm checking on you now.
Yeah, this is our check-in thing.
Good.
And I love you. And I don't need to, I'm not looking at my watch going, what the hell was the last time AnnMarie sent me a note, But I think it's so lovely just to see these random messages and random DMs. Someone I hadn't talked to since October just randomly popped up on my phone. It was like, hey, I'm just checking in to see if you're okay. How are you doing? And I don't think it's possible to underscore how much of an impact something like that can have.
And not just for you, but for the person. It feels really good to check on somebody else. Yeah. It feels really good to reach out and let somebody else know that you're thinking about them. When we help other people, it's cathartic. We help ourselves.
Absolutely. And it's just lighting up that little part of your brain that is connected to that person. And that light may have grown dimmer over the next couple of months, and you send that message and it's whew, and instant communication and connection happens again. It's so sweet. Before we get too deep into this, there's one thing I do want to mention. And so in the suicide prevention / awareness / advocacy world, for the last, I would say probably half a decade, during this time of year, we have spent a lot of time and effort dispelling the myth that the suicide rate goes up during the Christmas holidays. Okay, this is It's a Wonderful Life effect. People see that movie and that scene sticks in people's heads, and they, you think, oh God, Christmas, people get lonely, people must, kill themselves more. And historically, statistics do not bear that out. Statistically, in normal life and normal world times, the suicide rate rises really in the spring. We see that in kind of late March and April, and there's lots of different reasons for that. And so, we spend a lot of effort kind of dispelling this myth because we don't like people repeating this about the suicide rate going up during the holidays. But we ain't in normal town anymore. What was true last year and the year before and the year before that, we don't know.
Right.
We really do not know what is going to happen this year. And we won't know. Go ahead.
You're going to say exactly what I'm going to say. We will not know for at least 2 more years the impact of what this year has played in. I think one thing that's really, really important to piggyback on what Gabe is saying, any numbers you're seeing right now are from 2018. They are not from 2019. They're not from 2020. We do know that call lines are at an all-time high. We do know that crisis is at an all-time high. We just don't know the actual number. Right. And I think what's even more important is to be proactive in that. While we don't know the number, we know that it's increasing, and we know that it's going to be a problem come 2 years in a way that I don't even know if we're going to be able to handle it if we don't do something now about it. And what we do now is we talk, because we have to make this language to the point where it's so safe that someone feels completely comfortable coming. And Gabe, maybe when someone messaged you and said, hey, how are you doing? That might have been their way of saying, hey, I need a little help here.
Yes.
Look for all of those ways that you can open up a door for somebody else, because, we have to talk. We have to let people know that talking about suicide and suicide ideations does not mean that it increases the act or the, the thought process. It means that you created a space where someone could actually have a conversation and get that feeling out of them.
Be the kind of person who someone would feel comfortable going to with anything. Um, I have a history of being a real kind of judgmental prick. And
Yes, actually, for those who do not know, when Gabe first met me, he thought I was a raving bitch. And
yeah,
look at it.
and
He
she
was
thought I
wrong
was
about that.
like an obnoxious prick. And she's not wrong. But what I can say is I feel like I've mellowed a lot, and I have grown a lot and learned to accept a lot of kind of human mystery and let people be who they are. And I'm not saying I don't have my judgmental moments. I absolutely do. I mean, try to send me a song that you like, and I'll rip it to shreds if it's not to my liking. But I have really tried to get better at listening openly to people and not making assumptions and not trying to fix things for people. I used to be a real fixer. Like, oh God, you came to me with a problem. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? How are we going to fix this? I don't have the answers. I can't fix that. I can't fix that you have cancer. I can't fix.
Damn it, I thought you could.
I know my
Damn,
wand
I
is in
thought
the
we were
shop.
friends for that reason.
Yeah, but like I can show you love, and I can show you compassion, and I can be an open space for you to come to.
So, Gabe, I want to say something about what you're saying right now that I think everybody needs to hear. You don't need to be fixed. Like, we live in this society, in this world where we think people are broken and they need fixing. You don't need to be fixed. We're all a little broken, all of us. And that's okay. It's okay to be a little broken. It makes us who we are. And that broken piece gets glued together with the love that Gabe is talking about, that beautiful love that you get from other people and from yourself. And I actually just recently came into the acceptance that I'm broken, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't need fixing. I need acceptance and love and understanding. That's what we need.
So
And
can I ask you, like, when you say I'm broken, so I go back and forth on this.
okay.
There's, and I'm not here to like invalidate what you're saying. I am here to ask you about it though. I
Yeah.
want to know, because sometimes I hear in the mental health space, or I'm broken and everyone's a little broken, and broken is beautiful. I'm sure that's a hashtag. I don't know, but like, are you broken or are you human? And is that the same thing? Do you just mean that you have gone through, like, I know you've gone through the ringer and I know that it's been incredibly hard. But what does that mean to you?
I think that the trauma that you go through in your life and your thought process, things that you do to try to self-destruct, the pain that you're in breaks you a little bit, breaks you down a little bit. And that's when you need to rest. You need to take time to rest yourself, your body, your mind, whatever it is, and heal yourself a little bit. But the broken part is, I'm an overthinker. I overthink freaking everything. I could overthink this conversation and think, oh my God, Gabe's sitting too far away from that chair. He doesn't want to sit next to me there. He must not like me anymore,
Come here, snuggle up. Over here.
I can overthink white off of rice. That's not racist. I'm just white.
I was just going to say that's racist.
Anyways, my point is that we all have this little bit of us that's maybe hurt a little bit and a little broken up, and it's okay. I spent so much time of my life trying to fix that. Like, I need to be fixed. I need to be perfect. I need everything to be in line. And you know what? Some days being broken is all I can do, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. So does that make sense to you, or do you look at that in a different way?
I don't know, both. It makes sense to me, and I look at it in a different way. I guess I think about the things that I've experienced in my life and the things that my family has gone through. And I feel like, there's that idea of not being traumatized enough to have a mental illness or
I got enough for both of us.
to be traumatized. Well, right. Yeah. I'll take some of yours. But I feel sometimes a bit like an imposter, like a charlatan, or like
We've talked about this.
yeah, or like, oh, I have mental illness light,
But that's empathy, right? Because you can empathize with other people who are going through it because you have had a little bit enough in your life to understand it from somebody else's point of view. That's empathy.
Yeah. I mean, just being friends with you is traumatic. So
Ain't that the truth? I do want to say something. Alyssa was saying that this time of the year is hard with the daylight. Perfect. You just put it up there with the daylight, lack of daylight. And it's hard to just get through. And you just want to feel better. It's hard. And I understand that exact sentence. You just want to feel better. Some days it's okay to not feel better. Some days it's okay to just feel like crap. And Gabe and I have this thing where we talk about positive quotes a lot, and it's okay to not be okay is a quote that we kind of joke about back and forth a lot. And I think what's missing there is when somebody says that is you have to understand the reasoning behind it. That the reason behind that sentence is you are giving somebody permission to not feel okay. You're giving them permission to accept the fact that they're not okay today and process it and move through it. That's the key to that sentence. It's not about just saying, oh, it's okay to not be okay. Alyssa, it's okay to not be okay. That's not it. You have to understand that take that time for yourself today and not be okay. Don't feel better today. It's okay.
And I think too, there's so much shame, I think sometimes,
so much,
and guilt of, I want to feel better. I want to do better. I want to be able to power through this feeling and this day and these things that I have to do and all the things and the vacuuming and the dishwasher and the children I want to be able to do that and to do that with joy, but I'm not there. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you're just not there. And that's okay. I would change it to it's okay to just not be there. And to sometimes have to do a little bit of a performance to kind of get through a moment. That's all right. There may come a time where it's going to be natural and it won't feel like a performance and it won't feel like pushing a boulder up a hill. And I hope you get there.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So people are asking in the comments there for strategies and tools. What you just said is so important because you get through today, right? You got through today because it's hard, but you still got through it. Yesterday you got through it. It was hard yesterday too. You got through it. So when you are having those moments where you are like, oh, the weight of the world is on my shoulders. I saw that in the comments, or I just don't feel good. But you got through that other day. That's freaking cool. You got through that day, not because Gabe told you to, or because I told you it's okay to not be okay. You got through it because of you. That's a pretty powerful feeling when you step back for a second and just think about it. Now, that feeling may only last for 30 seconds, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't know. But you have to take a hold of those moments when you feel it and realize, you know what? I got through yesterday. I can get through today. That is really, really a powerful time in your life when you can honestly look at that and say that you did it. You got through that day, even though it sucked.
And not just getting through it, but think about how did look back at yesterday? How the hell did I do that? How did I get to today? Did I reach out to a friend? Did I indulge myself and make the hot chocolate with whole milk and not water today? So that it was extra, thick with a QQQ.
A little bit of almond milk would be delicious, but
ew, gross. But like, how, what did you do? And so when people ask for coping strategies, yeah, there are these cookie cutter, coping strategies: journal, call a friend,
meditation, writing words down, going for a walk.
That's great. And if that stuff works for you, great. But what you may need may be really different than what is on like that standard, top 10 listicle of coping skills. And so it's trial and error. It's trying different things. It's maybe for you going for the winter walk at night where it's more crisp and clean and there are fewer people around. Maybe you don't have to wear the mask outside because there's really nobody around. Maybe that's more therapeutic for you than a morning walk. It's trying all these different things to see what it is that's going to bring you joy, what is going to bring you peace, and what is going to bring you to today.
And this goes right into what I think we need to, transfer this conversation into, and it's the holidays, right? How are we going to get through these holidays? You add COVID on top of it, but then you have, sometimes a lot of people, their family stresses you out, and you don't really want to be around all those people at once. The noise, the pressure of it all is overwhelming. So you have to prepare yourself for those things. And what Gabe is saying goes right inside with this, right? Guys, guess what? It's okay to say no. And COVID
Oh
is
my
a
God.
perfect excuse for that. I can't come to that today. Sorry. I'm being, I don't want to expose anybody to COVID, or I'm worried about the virus. I just need to stay home, and I need to stay grounded at my house. Perfect reason to stay home. If you need to go, allow yourself a lot of time. I'm only going to stay for an hour, and I'm going to stand near, my cousin Lucy, because I know that Lucy and I get along, and I'm not going to go near Uncle Louie because, he's a real ass. So you have to set yourself up and be prepared for those moments. And you all can do it, because we do it in our day to day with, work and the mailman. We don't want to go get the mail because the mailman's there. The doorbell rang. We don't want to answer that. There's ways that we can implement that into our holiday season right now and get through the holidays and, balance our mental being a little bit.
And take breaks.
No.
Saying, okay, well, I'm going to be there for an hour doesn't mean that you have to park yourself at that table with that torturous conversation about politics or about, virus fraud or whatever crazy thing Uncle Lou is talking about. Did we call him Uncle Lou?
I like to call him Uncle Lou because I don't have an Uncle Lou. So kind of, I'm not offending any uncles.
You don't have to endure that for an hour just because you said, I'm going to stay at this thing for an hour. Take a break. 10 minutes, get up, take a walk, go outside, walk around the cul-de-sac, whatever. Like, give yourself that mental space and that freedom to disengage.
Absolutely.
And I think disengaging is such an important word when we're talking about the holidays, because you're so plugged in and you're so like in it, and everything can feel so heightened because it's the holiday season, because there are a ton of expectations, because there's family who can be triggering, conversations that can be triggering, because there can be alcohol, which I think we should talk about later.
We will.
Give yourself the freedom to disengage. And
So,
that hour is not a contract. You can break that.
Absolutely. And here's another news flash for everybody. Straight off the presses. Nobody has a Norman Rockwell holiday. So all those pictures that you're seeing on social media, all those pictures you see in maybe a blog or on the news, nobody's holiday is absolutely perfect. So get that vision out of your head. I'm going to tell you, before that picture was posted, there was arguing. There was, you get over there, you stand here. Wait, that's not how I want the angle. Wait a minute, we need Lucy. She's not in the frame. And, do you have to wear that outfit? Oh my God, brush your teeth. I mean, there's a whole list of crap that happens before that. There's no beautiful picture with that turkey standing there and, everyone's so happy. It just isn't. People just don't show that. And that's their prerogative to not show it. But you have to remember that that is not a Norman Rockwell holiday picture for everybody. Everyone's holiday is different, and it's okay.
There's no perfect holiday. There's no perfect family. There's no perfect person. That's all Insta bullshit. And, it's very seductive, I think.
It's so seductive.
But just remember, the milk in cereal commercials is glue.
It's glue. And when they do that turkey, they actually used a self tanner on it, and then they take a blowtorch to it. So
it's all fake. So advertising is fake. Social media is fake. It's all fake. It's all fiction. And just try to be mindful of that. That reality is messy. Mm-hmm. It's all messy.
Especially right now. I mean, we're just in this mess. And I know that the other part to that is a lot of people are feeling a bit isolated because their holiday is looking a little different. And I want everyone to understand that we're all grieving the same way. Those of us who are being smart about COVID and taking, all the restrictions that we need, great, but you're still missing out on what you had previously. And there is an enormous sense of loss with that. And you're going to feel it. And we're all feeling it. I'm feeling it immensely. Like, we have a huge family gathering every year since before I was born for New Year's Day, like 50 of my cousins eating and drinking all day. the thought that we can't do that this year crushes me. I mean, it's like a death. It truly is. And I have to learn to process that and to accept it and to grieve for it a little bit. And I think a lot of us need to grieve the holiday that we're losing, whether it's Christmas or Hanukkah, whatever it is, going to that holiday party that you love so much. We're losing, and we're grieving that part of it too. It's not just about the deaths, and I'm completely respectful to those as well. I think as the mental health aspect of this is we need to understand what the impact of COVID is having. And it's not just depression, anxiety, and PTSD from the virus. It's an immense sense of loss and loneliness that is overwhelming.
Yeah, it is. It is grief and it is loss. And if you look at, the Elizabeth Kubler-Ross stages of grief, you're going to feel lots of different things during this holiday season. You're going to feel anger, and you're going to feel despair, and you're going to feel resentment. You're gonna bargain. Well, can I do this if I don't go across state lines? And well, what if I get tested before? And you're gonna play all of those games, right? But the bottom line is, you got to do the best thing that's physically safe for you and that is emotionally safe for you. And I think what's important to remember is that you can grieve the loss of your own personal family traditions and what the holiday is, quote, supposed to be, alongside acknowledging what it is and what joys do you have. What is this holiday bringing to you that ordinarily it wouldn't? Maybe for some people, this is an incredible relief because they don't have to be around triggering asshole relatives.
I actually had a lot of people say that to me, that this is great because I'm using COVID for every excuse to not be around anybody. But I want to say something about that. And I appreciate people who are saying that. Just don't sequester yourself. Don't isolate yourself to the point where it starts to impact your day to day. I saw somebody post in there, do anything, take a shower. Like if this is affecting your day to day, where you're not taking a shower and you're not getting your work done, you're not eating properly, you need to look a little deeper and see what's going on. And guess what? She said two things there, and I think they're both really important. Taking a shower is a win. That is a huge win. You got up, you took a shower. That is amazing. That is fantastic. That you Gabe didn't, so it means somebody had to.
No, I've forgotten what my shower looks like. Actually, is it blue tile, pink? I have no idea.
I was going to ask if you like to take tubs better, but that was going to be a whole different conversation. So
yeah,
I know we're chatting away here, but you said something before, and you and I had talked about it briefly for a second. I do want to talk about alcohol consumption because I think there's something going on in the mental health world that we're not really paying attention to or even tuning into. I see it myself in my social media posts, people at 11 o'clock saying time for a drink, and 2 drink a whole bottle of wine. And it's really affecting the substance abuse community in a way that I think is really detrimental. It's okay to not have a drink. It is completely okay to not have that drink.
Even during the holidays. And perhaps especially during the holidays. Full disclosure, I think it's really important that I'm open and honest. I don't drink. Nothing. Coffee,
water,
Diet Coke, and I really don't drink water, which is really bad. Really, coffee and Diet Coke is basically it, and tea. So you're hearing what you're going to hear from someone who doesn't drink alcohol. Okay. And I have a lot of reasons for that. And I'm not in recovery. Okay. Everyone asks, oh, you don't drink? Are you in recovery? No, I'm not. I just don't drink. I think, having said that disclosure, that there is a real problem in Western culture, and particularly in America, where we treat alcohol as this really benign thing. And this, hey, yeah, like AnnMarie said, it's wine o'clock, and, oh yeah, COVID, yeah, coping and taking it. That's really not great. And it's
alcohol
really
is not a coping mechanism.
Exactly. Well, it's not a healthy coping mechanism. And I think it's a slap in the face to people who are in recovery and who are in that community and who are going through really, really hard triggering times right now. Mm-hmm. And alcohol is very dangerous. And when you combine depression with a depressant, and
Yeah.
you are facing multiple life stressors, there's financial insecurity, job instability, fear of getting the virus, family stressors, everyone's cooped up together. Oh, and by the way, firearm sales are going through the roof. Let's put all of that together, and then let's mix in alcohol.
Right.
We've got a potential real problem. And you may be making decisions that you would not have made sober. So I think sounding the alarm bell on alcohol, particularly during the holidays and particularly during COVID, I don't think that's alarmist.
So I do have an occasional drink. I actually can hold my alcohol quite well, so I know what my limits are, and I
In your
pay
right and
attention to
left
that.
hand.
That's true. I
Good.
think there is a way to be really responsible with this. We can still have a drink. That's not what anybody's saying. I think we
Right.
just need to be really mindful of how it can affect the people in our lives who are living in isolation with depression, and we just need to be super aware of it. And I know people are going to say, well, I can't be politically correct in every post I make. And I totally understand that. You can't. I mean, I could write you a list of posts
You
that should
certainly
be
can.
real. Yes. However, we can try to change the language a little bit. And maybe at that holiday dinner, you don't have to offer all wine and beer. Maybe make a really great spritzer that has, something fun in it that's, appealing to someone who doesn't want to drink. And it will encourage people to not have a drink. I mean, it just will. And I want to say this because I'm coming at it from a mom with teenage boys. We are setting a pattern for our kids. We are truly doing it. Well, when we're drinking in the middle of the day, we're showing them that alcohol is okay to have in the middle of the day. Now, unfortunately, I have two kids that are completely straight edge and they don't drink or anything. But the point is I want to make sure that I'm setting that stage for them so that when they go forward, they understand that alcohol can totally be consumed in a really, responsible way. We just need to set the stage for it. It's just responsibility. That's
Yeah.
just how I feel about it.
And I think we communicate so many messages to our children and to
Mm-hmm.
young people in our lives by the things that we say and the way we say them and what we don't say. So think about this too. The way I am treated in social situations when I'm offered alcohol by someone who doesn't know me and I say, oh, I don't drink. What? Why? So that's how do you think that makes me feel when I hear someone react like that, as opposed to, oh, okay, what do you like?
Yeah. What can I get you?
That's all it has to be. It doesn't have to be like I'm a friggin' alien.
Okay.
Okay, but not because of that. There's
No,
other reasons.
not because of that. But I think this also goes into everything else that we're talking about. It's just about changing the language, changing that sentence completely different. If someone says to you, hey, no, I can't come to the holiday event, just not feeling right. Your response could be, I hope everything's okay. Just know that I'm here if you need anything. You don't have to pry into their business. They might not want to tell you, but just letting them know that, hey, I'm thinking about you.
I'll miss
It's
you.
just, I'll miss you.
Yeah.
Isn't that
What
perfect?
would
Look
you
at how
miss?
you went right into that.
Leading right in there, buddy.
Opening the door. Which I do think, I know I'm not at all ever trying to shove it down people's throat, but maybe just a little, because I think right now, especially, our world needs ways that we can have a conversation with someone in a gentle way that they can handle, not just the person receiving the information, but the person giving it. So if I'm somebody who doesn't know how to talk to someone who's struggling, simply saying to them, hey, I would miss your peanut brittle. Just wanted you to know that. I would miss your peanut brittle. I freaking hate peanut brittle, but I'm just throwing that out there. That person really does feel like, oh my God, they would miss my peanut brittle. That's pretty cool. They miss me, that means.
Right.
Saying those little sentences, especially right now when we can't always all be together and we are, doing Zoom holiday parties and everything, will help somebody. I'm telling you, it will. I've seen it happen. I've actually had it happen to myself. I was having a really down day and someone messaged me because they got a tray of my cookies and they picked one cookie and they said, I would miss this cookie, whatever cookie it was, I don't remember. But the point is that it made me feel like so amazing that I sent these cookies to them. Not only did they love my cookies, but they'd miss me. They'd miss my cookies if I wasn't here. It's really powerful and it's gentle and it's something everybody can do. You don't have to use the word suicide. You don't have to use the word depression, anxiety. You don't have to use any of it. You're just telling them you'd miss them. And without coming right out and saying that, you guys, it's something we can all hold on to. I would miss my butt burning up from the back of this fireplace. if I wasn't here. And let me tell you, I'm on fire.
I tuned out I would miss my butt. I didn't hear anything.
I
I was
don't really
like,
have a butt anymore.
I would miss your butt too.
I mean,
No,
I like big
I
butts.
would miss your laugh. I think your laugh,
Really?
and I attach a particular importance to humor and being funny and being regarded as funny. Um, I love making people laugh. I love laughter, and yours, not everyone's laugh is great. I think laughter in general is great, but some people's laughs, like, Fran Drescher, like, like that's not. I don't aspire to hear that. But yours is lovely, and
So I'm crying now because I always hated my laugh.
oh, Jesus, AnnMarie, why?
I just did. I felt like it was loud and obnoxious and it like took over the
It
world.
is. It's great.
I know, but I have a friend that loves my laugh too.
I
And
love it. I love it. I really do. I really do. And it's funny when we were first at that conference together, and we were in this room, and I saw you like glaring at me from across the room, like before we really had a conversation. And I was like, well, I will never make her laugh. And so it's so wonderful how life changes,
oh,
how
yeah.
things change.
And
And
Gabe, I think
yeah,
that sentence is exactly how we should end this because what you just said is so important. You guys, life changes. You're in that moment where you think the weight of the world's on your shoulders. You feel horrible. You can't get through the day. But guess what? Before you know it, life changes. And that light comes in and your perspective changes. And it's a beautiful thing.
I had a mother who lost her son to suicide 6 years ago. Talk to me about this idea of this too shall pass, and how we say that to people all the time. And when things are not going well, they say, "Oh, this too shall pass. This too shall pass," and things will change. And she said, "But there's a flip side to that. So when things are going well, this too shall pass." Also,
Jesus, Gabe. Jesus, thanks
well,
a lot.
no, but I'm going to bring it around. Life. This is life. Life is ebb and flow. And I was watching A Muppet Christmas Carol with my family last night. We watch it every single year around the Christmas time. Hanukkah is just winding down, and we were watching The Muppet Christmas Carol, and Kermit, who plays Bob Cratchit, is sitting at the table after Tiny Tim has passed away, and he says, "I'll do my best, Kermit." He says, "It's all right, children. Life is a series of meetings and partings. That is the way of it." And it's true. And I count myself so lucky that I had a meeting with AnnMarie, and that she's a part of my life. And our friendship and relationship has changed and ebbed and flowed and grown. And it's so lovely. And I would miss that if I wasn't
Jesus,
here.
Gabe.
And we're out.
You're making me a blubbering fool.
No, you're wonderful.
I think what you guys all who are watching take in from this is simple conversation with someone you care about. It doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't have to be, using those mental health words. It can just simply be about the things you miss about them and how amazing it would make that person feel. And I'm going to tell you, I feel so much better right now, Gabe, because I've been having a pretty crappy week, and everything you said meant so much to me. So I love you dearly. I will end this all with a quick story and thinking about the fact that the holidays, while they're here and they're heavy, there are magical moments. We just need to look and find them. There's beauty. We just need to open our eyes. It's there. Trust me, it's there. I found it in the darkest of days, and so can you. So thank you guys for joining us. And I look forward to seeing you next time when we talk about, did you cope with the holidays? How did you survive the holidays? That'll be a whole nother conversation, and we'll be ready for it. Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. All the best. And that's for you.